Ace Bailey's in the starting lineup, and he's not coming out. Next on Locked on Jazz.
You are Locked on Jazz, your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network. Your team every day.
How are you? I'm David Locke, radio voice of the Utah Jazz, Jazz NBA insider. This is Locked on Jazz. It's your daily podcast on the Utah Jazz, giving you insight, expertise, geeky numbers, and hopefully making it way better to be a Jazz fan each and every day. Thank you so much for making Locked on Jazz your first listen of the day. And thank you for making Locked On the number one sports podcast. Unbelievable. All right. Everydayers, you're the best. Thanks for first listen. Fun night. Ace Bailey moves into the starting lineup. We're going to talk about how he played, what we're seeing there. He's not coming out. He's just too gifted. Lots of things to talk about. Honestly, I loved the fight from Kyle Filipowski last night. I've been trying to find as much video as I can to show it. You're going to have to trust me. I'm going to show you kind of the setup to it. But last night, for what Kyle Filipowski did, Ace is the headliner. I'm not going to bury the lead. But for me, walking out of the arena, I was super impressed by Kyle last night. Late game watch on Tuesdays, and the league was drunk last night. I stayed up till way too late watching the end of every game. Two crazy plays at the end of games, one by Eric Spoelstra and one by Thiago Splitter, which the rest of the league will try to emulate for the next few weeks. And I'll show you both those plays. So fun show ahead today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's show is brought to you in part by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Jazz Pacers tonight. By the way, if you're coming to the game, you can listen. We're still doing it. We're doing a little bit of the in-arena broadcast. We're kind of adjusting on how it works best. Air canceling headphones are the best. Lacey was there last night, who's a postcast listener, and also probably Locked on Jazz listener, and she was telling us about it afterwards. Ron and I will, when it's appropriate, Ron and I kind of give you extra content during the breaks. Sometimes you hear Ron and I just talking crap during the break. Last night, you heard me tell the joke I wanted to tell on the air that I thought was inappropriate. So it's just super fun. You kind of get an insight in the broadcast. So if you come to a game, stop by our Section 7 in our booth, and there's a little code for you to click on, and then we're trying to get it so it's easier, and actually trying to get it through the Jazz app for you here at some point. So appreciate it, and any feedback is much appreciated. So thank you very much. And then also on SEG Plus, Amazon Fire Stick is now working. All right, let's get to it. Ace Bailey starts last night. Every Jazz fan's been waiting for it, wanting it, seeing it, and it happened. And it's an interesting progression because really Ace Bailey was going to start out of camp, and then he hurts his knee, and he gets sick, and he misses kind of 6 straight days of practice, and he's not ready to start, and then he doesn't play well. Then the season kind of overwhelms him, and then progressively, each night he's gotten a little bit better, and then frankly, I think we got a little worse in some things that it was like, okay, we just got to start Ace Bailey. And I thought I was really impressed last night, and I'll share with you why. Again, everything we were told about Ace Bailey coming out of Rutgers and what we watched at Ace Bailey, and if you read all the scouting reports at Ace Bailey, they're all a lie. I don't think anybody did it on purpose. Don't misunderstand. But like, he is just not the player we were told he was going to be. I mean, the story is that this kid's this ball hog who's going to shoot every time and ignores teammates. And so he played 6 minutes and took 2 shots in his opening stint. Like, he didn't force a shot all night. The only shot he forced, he made. He played the opening 6 minutes. His plus minus every night is a disaster. And last night, he had the second worst plus minus of anyone on the team. Svi had a minus 17. He had a minus 16 in 28 minutes. There are reasons. Like, we'd be lying if we tried to pretend that, well, plus minus is noisy and I don't like personal plus minus, and I do think that that's true. But the youth and inexperience shows up when you just look at every single night, minus 16, minus 19, minus 15, minus 17, minus 15, minus 17, minus 15, minus, like it's too much to ignore. It's fine. That's what he's doing. So he's making all sorts of mistakes. Defensively, he reaches. He gets off balance a lot. He's 19. It's fine. He's 19 years old in like 90 days. He turned 19 in August. He was 18. But the skills are abundant. The dunk, the drive, baseline, reverse side dunk is what most people talk about. I can't find it, or I couldn't find it out of the game log. I didn't go back. There's a play. I can't remember if it's third or fourth quarter, which is a problem. He's defending, I think, Jaden McDaniels on the wing, and he just reaches around him and knocks the ball away for a second. Like, it seems like such a minor thing, but most guys can't do that. He has 2 or 3 steals last night just because he's so long. He plays with a zest and an energy that when he does figure out how to play defense, he's going to be a pretty good defender. He's flying in, crashing from all angles on rebounds, had 4 offensive rebounds last night that are rebounds that just other guys aren't getting. I mean, he had 3 steals, 7 rebounds, 2 assists last night. And then, I said it numerous times. I thought we'd have 2 of 19s with him. Really bad shooting nights. He goes 4 of 9. I think he hit 1 jumper, hit 2 dunks, and I can't remember the 4th shot. Didn't hit his threes. He's so much more patient offensively than I expected. He also gives us some nice balance to have him in the starting lineup because we just need some scorers. Our offense is really scuffling. But he's going to stay there. And he's going to get better every night. And that's the thing Will Hardy keeps talking about in postgame, is that he has an ability to learn, and he has an ability to take in information, and he plays with just tremendous energy. Teaching someone to play hard is probably impossible. We're seeing actually Keontae's playing much harder than he has in the past. I think it's physical conditioning, but it's really hard to get people to play hard. And Ace is doing it. He is showing all the flashes. The length defensively, the running the floor offensively, the beating people off the dribble, the verticality of jumping, the elite athleticism. It's the quick decisions. It's all there. It's just going to take a while. It's going to be awesome to watch. It's going to be awesome to watch. Twitter's a nasty mean place, and I do see the tweets where I don't watch anymore. Like I tweeted about the NBA was drunk last night. We'll talk about it in late game watch. It was crazy. And I don't watch the game. It sucks. Okay, I'm so sad for you. Like, if you cannot get over whatever issue you have to decide you want to hate something and take in the enjoyment of it. Like, I honestly feel that way about things I don't like. Like, if you can't, I don't like the opera, but if you can't understand that there's genius there, that's sad. And Ace Bailey every night is going to show us things that are just incredible. He just does that. It's great. I mean, Anthony Edwards was unbelievable last night. I thought there was a little boy. He was probably 40, 50. There was a kid in the crowd who stood right behind us last night. He had a Jazz hat on and an Anthony Edwards jersey. And I kind of was like, oh, I'm him. Like, I think Ant is the most enjoyable player in the league to watch. He's just amazing. And you just don't know what he's going to do, whether it's going to be a double clutching flying dunk, whether it's going to be a step back 3. His 3s become James Harden. He's incredible. I'm rooting for the Jazz, but I'm there to see Ant. I loved it. I'm kind of there. Like, if you can't enjoy this stuff, I don't know what's wrong with you. But Ace Bailey is like, we're not going to win a lot of games. We do not have NBA players, enough established NBA players on our roster. Like, I can just be totally frank with you. We're below 100 minutes of established NBA rotation players every night we roll out there right now. It's going to be tough. But if you're going to enjoy Ace Bailey every night because he's doing something, and he'll probably make absurd mistakes, but it's there. The shot's not right now. 4 fouls in 28 minutes, minus 16. It's not flawless. He's not perfect. He's 19. And it's good. It's all there. And it's going to be so fun to see it. He had a twirling turnaround jumper last night that I couldn't call. I just called it hard because he surprised me with what he did. On the simplest level, from a play-by-play announcer, it's been a long time since we've had a player, it's Donovan, who surprises me, right? Pure, unbelievable athleticism to the point they surprise you. That's what Ace does every night. It's going to be great. He's not leaving the starting lineup because we all know his warts and his strengths are just getting better by the minute. He might get injured and then at some point, right? Because that's the league. But he's in. This is it. We're going to watch him. He's going to play the 2 for the rest of the year. And if somebody else can play the 3, maybe we'll figure it out. Our center position's just really tough right now. But Ace is going to be there. Keontae and Ace are going to be the backcourt, and Ace is going to play the 2. And he's going to get better and better at it. And if he starts to make shots, it's going to be great. But he showed all the flashes last night. I think the passing's the one that jumps out to me the most. Just the willingness and the quickness of decisions he makes making passes. The other night, the drop off to Markin was ridiculous. It's pretty great. All right. Sorry for no postcast last night. If you didn't hear, I forgot my computer. Like, I know why. It's a stupid reason, but so I actually called the game without my computer last night, which was actually good exercise. All right. I am not going to be able to show this as perfectly as I wanted, but Kyle Filipowski was the pigeon last night. The pigeon's the thing you shoot at. Minnesota relentlessly went after him, and he fought like hell, and it was awesome, and I'm so fired up about the way he played last night. Next on Locked on Jazz. Today's show is brought to you by Murdoch Hyundai, located at 4646 South State Street. Also located in Logan and in Linden. The Murdochs have been in Utah for over 90 years. And Hyundai has got a great lineup of cars. The Palisade is the biggest SUV, and it's just gorgeous. I am driving the Santa Fe Hybrid, and I filled up my gas tank yesterday, and it had 552 miles. Till it filled up. I love this. It's so great. It drives beautifully. It's got 3 rows of seat, incredible spacing, super taking up and down the canyons, fabulous. My son took it to Colorado. We love it. It's absolutely great. It's all at Murdoch Hyundai, located at 4646 South State Street, also located in Logan and Linden. And if you're in the market for a car, email me at dlock09@gmail.com, and we will give you the VIP experience you deserve at Murdoch Hyundai. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of Locked On, the official betting partner of the NBA. Last night was ridiculous, by the way, if you didn't catch what happened last night. I believe last night the game was 7.5, and Filipowski dunks at 3 seconds left in the game and flips the line from a cover to a non-cover. That is the kind of excitement that you get at the end of a night. Live betting with FanDuel, everything you score next to fourth quarter comebacks, combined live bets, same-day parlays for shot at bigger payouts. It gets every game a little bit more exciting. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sportsbook betting partner of Locked On. Today's show is also brought to you by Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone, keep your same numbers and contacts. The setup is super easy. You keep your number, and you're running in minutes, and you get the same quality service you had for a fraction of the price. So are you ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time, new customers offer for the first 3 months. Only speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Tax and fees and extras. See Mint Mobile for details. Thanks so much for making Locked On Jazz your first listen of the day, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. All right, this is going to be a little chunky. There's no way to do it otherwise, but I really want to show this to you. So last night, Kyle Filipowski checks in the game, and immediately it's clear they've got a scouting report that Kyle can't guard, and they are going to go after him as relentlessly as I have seen a team go after someone in a while. And then let's add in the next part of it, and that is that this is against literally the best one-on-one player in the NBA right now. And it's Anthony Edwards. I literally said on the air, my call on the air was, if he has a whoop band, it's going nuts right now because I'd be having a panic attack. So Kyle checks in at the 5:47 mark. I don't believe this first one is at Kyle. Let me just make.
He is playing some of his best.
First one, they bring Kyle into the action. The intention is to bring Kyle into the action. And they're up high, and Edwards makes the read. He'd rather go left anyway. Thanks, NBA. And he drives left. And then the Jazz defend it really well. Kevin Love tries to cut it off. We just don't have the personnel. Everyone did what they're supposed to do, and he gets a layup. But the signal's out. Like, we're coming for you, Kyle.
Just pass.
Now, the next play, they bring an NBA only gives press. They bring Kyle the action, and literally the pick is coming for Kevin Love, which seems logical at 38 years old. And Ed says, no, don't do that, Julius. I just want this guy. So now Kyle, who is not a good isolation defender, I think he ranked like 97th out of 99 isolation defenders last year, something like that, is now isolated one-on-one on Ant. And Ant goes into his dance, pulls back left, pulls Kyle, and the Ant's sick. Okay, he's sick. Now, the next time down, they get a fast break, and now in the next half-court set, they go again, and it's the exact same thing. And Ant literally calls flip out again. And the same thing, don't give me a pick. And his team's trying to slide, and now Kyle trying to learn, and now is up a step closer. And the defense is to get Ant off of his left hand. They want to shade him, square up on his left hand, and make him go right. And you can see Kyle's feet are trying. His feet are in a position where his right foot's up a little higher. He's trying to get that way, and Ant knows. So Ant just shakes him a little bit to the right, brings it back left. Kyle opens up his foot. Good night, slam dunk, Anthony Edwards. I mean, seriously. Like, as I said on the broadcast, and I'm not trying to be like, my Whoop band is going nuts right now. Like, they just went after him like every play. And I can keep pulling more of them for you. They did this every play. And they did it relentlessly. And they did it then on handoffs between when they switched him over somewhere and he's guarding Julius Randle. Then Julius Randle started coming off Mike Conley handoffs on the side. They put him in every action imaginable in the first 3.5 minutes he was on the floor. And he fought all night. I love it. And because he fought all night, he was on the floor to make 3 absolutely fabulous passes. Fabulous passes. Passes that Kyle Filipowski can make. And maybe not that many other guys. Like, if we take a second and find the NBA box score does this, it's really pretty cool. And we get 9 points off of these passes. So this is what, in my opinion, and I haven't talked to the coaches. They may listen to this and be like, what the hell are you talking about? But I don't think so. Because what I saw last night out of Kyle is I saw a guy who fought hard enough, despite his deficiencies, that then he was able to show his skills. And one of the things we've talked about a lot on this, and Will Hardy said it last year, is you've got to make sure your weaknesses are not so bad that it derails everything. If you're so bad defensively, there's no scheme that can be run because they just call you out every single time and go at you and beat you every time, which they did on those 2 plays, but that's Ant. Or your offense is so bad that they don't guard you and we can't run our plays, then it doesn't matter. One of the things that's going on this year is that Isaiah Collier and Kyle Filipowski and Cody Williams, when he gets a chance, and Bryce Sensabaugh need to find a way to make their weaknesses palatable so their strengths can show. Well, here are Kyle Filipowski.
Bailey.
Fantastic feed.
Leaves it for Nurk.
Lane. What is Kyle's weakness? Defensively moving his feet and elevating and finishing at the rim. He is not a good rim finisher, okay? He worked on the offseason, studying Jokic, studying Doncic, and trying to figure out how to finish at the rim. But even though Naz Reid might be the worst big man defender in the NBA, Filipowski is not a good finisher. This is where he struggles. And so what is
inside pass, flip.
He throws a remarkable wraparound pass.
Oh, what a pass out to Markkanen. 3, got it.
Like, that's big time. Okay. Kyle gets an offensive rebound. Naz Reid again, double teamed. Gobert looming. This is not a good script for Kyle Filipowski, who's not getting over the top of people. So he brings the defenders to him. He passes out to Mikhailuk, and Svi hits the three. Svi, by the way, is shooting 50% on catch and shoot threes. Okay. They inbound to Kyle. He turns the corner. He drives. He meets Gobert at the rim. What's he going to do? Kyle Filipowski doesn't elevate. He doesn't finish well at the rim. He brings Rudy to him perfectly, and he throws a two-hand bullet pass on the numbers to Mikhailuk, who hits the three. And now, because he fought defensively and he battled all night, even though he was the pigeon, even though they scored on him, even though they went at him like every freaking play, he stayed with it. He fought. He took a charge. He got some defensive stops. He was able to show his brilliance offensively with those three passes. That's a lot of what this season's going to be about for us. And I loved that last night. He was the pigeon. There's no hide. The pigeon is like, literally the pigeon is like you go out shooting, right? They shoot the pigeon up and boom, you shoot him. And like Anthony Edwards was sitting there looking, oh, there's Kyle, let's go. And Julius Randle was like, there's Kyle, let's go. And Naz Reid was like, there's Kyle, let's go. They all were like, they literally in a film session were like, if that guy with pink shoes is in the game, go after him every single play. And I don't know the final defensive numbers, but he fought. I don't actually care what the final defensive numbers are because there have been nights in which, honestly, I didn't think he fought. And so last night, he fought. I'm looking at the defensive matchups right now to see if there's anything on Filipowski of anything important. They scored 16 points on Kyle in 11 minutes and 50 seconds of defense. That's a lot. But according to this, they shot 6 of 14. Okay, so in 53 possessions, they took 16 shots against him. They went after him. Like, that is the pigeon right there. But they shot 6 of 14, according to the NBA numbers on him. He battled. That's pretty great. And this is what we're looking for. And you know the other guy last night who had a really good night? Bryce Sensabaugh. Bryce Sensabaugh had back-to-back defensive possessions where he executed the game plan perfectly. That's literally all they're asking. And on one of them, I think Julius Randle stepped back and hit a three, and Bryce was so pissed because he's stressing and pressing and trying to get time, and he executed right, and the game plan was to get both Randle and Edwards to their right hands, and Randle took a step back three to the right and hit it, and Bryce, results oriented, and I'm going to guess that coach came up to Bryce after the game and said, hey, you know what? That was fine. That's my guess. Because Bryce was consciously trying to execute the game plan. Now, Bryce and Kyle aren't very quick of feet, and they're pretty stationary, and it's hard for them on defense. And so what do they need to do to figure out like how they're going to master that? Is the next step. And that's what I loved about Kyle last night. Like, Kyle leaves too much room, gets shook by the step back. The next time up, he's too high, and then he gets beat by, okay, he's trying. By the way, NBA courtside numbers on Kyle are a little different. They have him getting beat up a little bit more. They have 8, so I don't know who determines these and why they're different. I'll email the NBA today to find out. So they have the opponent shooting 8 of 14 against him, which feels a little bit more accurate. But he also took an offensive charge on Jaden McDaniels and did some other stuff. And that's what's like, we're not going to be an enjoyment out of wins, losses season. We just don't have enough minutes. But we are going to be enjoyment out of watching things like Kyle Filipowski last night and Bryce Sensabaugh battling last night. And Walt Clayton, who was 1 of 12 on off the bounce threes, his signature shot buries one. And then pulls from Ogden, Provo, the way the court was lined up, pulls from Provo for 3, and shows some confidence. It was great. These are the things. Tonight, playing on the back end of back-to-back, going to have to match the energy in Indiana. The NBA was drunk last night. 2 of the same plays worked on end of game that are crazy. We'll talk about it. I watched 5 games. It was awesome. I loved it last night. It's next on Locked On Jazz. Today's edition of Locked On Jazz is brought to you by Game Time. If you're looking to get to the game, you're looking to get into the arena, get to the concert, well, there's one ticket app for you to use that takes away all the troubles. Plus, you can download the Game Time app and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Don't want to be negative, but when you think about buying tickets, you can think of a lot of things that go wrong. The app doesn't work. There's late surcharges. There's this, there's that. All these little things that kind of get into the way, make it so it's a less enjoyable experience than you want it to be. And Game Time is here for you to make sure that those all go away. The charges are there for you up front. The zone deals are just incredible. They're a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks your seats for you, and you save big. You can get into games and concerts for under $25. So find the game you want to go to, pick the night, wait out the prices, be there. There was the Train concert at Red Butte this year. The tickets dropped over $100 for me before the end of the night. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first ticket. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Today's show is also brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, but every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again, channeling that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all in one platform. You can build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legend advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more for yourself, expect more for your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All right. Let me see if I can share this. This is crazy last night. All right, I watched 5 different games, late game watch. So here's what I do, by the way, just so you all know. I watch the final 5, actually 9 minutes of every close game in the NBA of my way of watching, and then I share with you because I think you really learn what's going on around the league, about the teams, if you watch these games. Then the other thing is you actually see plays that happen that then become the late game plays, and it's fun for me. It's my own personal thing to call a game, have a game late, and tell you what the other team's going to run. That's kind of my own personal deal that I love, and I don't think you actually care, but to me, it's like my favorite thing. So I want to share with you last night, because this is now going to be like the rage of the NBA. These 2 plays that took place last night. Okay. So Donovan Mitchell has just hit the craziest 3. Johnny Bryant is coaching. I'll give you some notes on this game, on the Cleveland. This was an overtime game between Cleveland and Miami. There's some really interesting things to it. Johnny Bryant's actually coaching. Kenny Atkinson's in the locker room. I think he got ejected. And he runs a play for Sam Merrill instead of Donovan Mitchell with like 6 seconds left for a 3 to tie. Merrill misses. Donovan flies in, grabs the rebound, dribbles out to the corner, throws up a prayer turnaround 3 with 0.4 seconds left and makes it. So 0.4 seconds left. You can kind of get a shot off, but not really. Watch Andrew Wiggins right here at the top. That's what you want to see. And there's a bunch of things that are interesting here. They have a 6'10" Jovic inbounding. I'm not entirely sure why you guard the inbounder in this circumstance. There's 0 chance the ball's coming back to the inbounder. So I am not sure why you guard the inbounder. Norman Powell's here in the corner. That's probably who they're most worried about. Jaquez is over there. Evan Mobley is at the rim. Jokic gets it. This is super interesting. I'm going to actually tell you what happens first, and obviously this is better on video. But Powell in the corner is going to run through. Up at the top of the key is Wiggins and Mitchell. They leave a little space. This is like an Eric Spoelstra. This is what makes Eric Spoelstra great. Powell's going to run through the middle of them. And if they're switching 1 through 5, 1 through 4, which I'm assuming they are in this circumstance, which one switches? This is great stuff. I love this stuff. So Wiggins and Mitchell are standing next to each other with a space. If you're on audio, I'm going to make it so it makes sense. Just imagine that they're standing next to each other, but there's a space in between them, and Powell runs through the space. So which defender, if they're switching, if it's kind of a pick but not really a pick, which defender switches? Then the next thing they do is Mitchell then, after he comes through, after you have to decide who's switching, Mitchell will go set a pick on Wiggins' guy. And Sam Merrill just drops his shorts and loses him. Powell comes through the middle. Mitchell sets the pick. Merrill goes nowhere. Wiggins wide open for a slam dunk to win it. I mean, incredible. Watch it one more time. For those of you on video, audio, don't worry, I'll get off in a second, but it's really cool to watch. It's a great play. Right there. Is anyone supposed to switch? Powell just ran through the middle of them. Is anyone supposed to switch? No one switches. Mitchell then sets a pick on Hunter, wrapping around the backside as Wiggins. I don't know where Sam Merrill's going. He just dropped his shorts defensively. Slam dunk. Miami beats Cleveland. Okay. In the Portland-Orlando game, Thiago Splitter is doing a great job with Portland. They're executing well. They're running good stuff. It's really interesting to watch. Now, let me see if I can find this. I think it's actually a little earlier. Yeah. So this one's really surprising. There's 11 seconds left. And they're down 1 with 11 seconds left. And this is a pretty interesting play by Splitter because it's a risky, but no one's expecting it. And Kamara, who's 6'9", is going to inbound. You should guard the inbound here. So this is kind of a very in vogue thing that teams are doing now. They're clearing one guy out. Spoelstra brought this into the league like 3 years ago. They're clearing one guy out. So now there's only 3 guys in the front court. There's one guy in the backcourt. And with 11 seconds left, you got to guard the guy in the backcourt because if you throw it to him and he's going to have momentum, he has plenty of time. So you've opened up the floor. It's now a 3-on-3 game in the middle of the floor, and they're in a diagonal. One guy in the right corner, the ball's being inbounded on that side, one guy at the elbow, and one guy at the top. The one to watch is Grant in the middle, or Grant at the top. Grant comes out of the corner off of Drew Holiday. Desmond Bane top blocks him excessively. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know this is entirely the play. Such a weird defensive play by Desmond Bane to just jump that far on the top side. So Grant just changes his route to the basket. Bane thinks he's supposed to switch. Banchero reacts late, lob to the basket, and Grant dunks on top of Banchero with 10.6 seconds left on another lob to the basket on the same night. If you watch this one again, obviously at the top, and only guys that matter, the guy at the elbow is Drew Holiday. Bane starts guarding him, and Grant starts his route, and Bane just jumps out to the top side to switch, and Banchero just kind of doesn't really react to it and misses and dunks. 2 crazy plays. All right, let's get to some late game watch notes on this one, so we're getting late. In the Cleveland-Miami game, Cleveland actually is playing zone for much of the last of that game. Cleveland's shorthanded, Garland's out, so they're actually playing Donovan, Sam Merrill, DeAndre Hunter, Wade, and Tyson are changing it, and Mobley. So Jared Allen's out. Miami's shorthanded, no Bam, and they're playing Powell, Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, Jaime Jaquez, and Khalil Ware. Things that are interesting, the pigeon on Miami's Jaquez. Miami's going after Jaquez almost every play. Miami is playing this game where they just spread out the floor and they just drive one-on-one. They're running no picks. They run the fewest picks in the league. They're only running about 20 a game, and Jaquez is the main part of it. Jaquez on offense looked incredible. 3rd year, busting out. They literally just drive and go at him. The other one, Evan Mobley, has just exploded. He hit a 3. He played off the bounce, off the wing on a one-on-one move to the middle. He played out of the post. He did all sorts of crazy stuff. And Cleveland's the favorite in the East if that's who Evan Mobley is. Miami just runs 2 high and 3 flat and then just drives. And then they move off that. And then Johnny Bryant, as I mentioned, is coaching that game. So there's some interesting notes on that one. In that Portland-Orlando game, Orlando just doesn't look right at all. Orlando's up 102-95 with 5 minutes left, and Blazers going a 13-0 run. Orlando ends up winning this game. Drew Holiday has 3 turnovers in the final 5 minutes. But Orlando, the thing about Orlando is nobody is building off anyone else on any possession. No one ever gets a look based on anyone else's actions. Bane, Wagner, Banchero, Anthony Black instead of Jalen Suggs closing, and then they switch between Goga and Wendell Carter for their bigs. Portland went with no center for a while, with Drew Holiday, Denny Avila, Grant, Kamara, and then had Sharp in. But I also think, like, on one of the key plays, Thiago Splitter didn't have a center in. It cost him the game. It's interesting to watch Desmond Bane. He's one of the great catch and shoot guys in the league. Everything he's doing is off the bounce. Everything he's doing is off the bounce. That's not where he's great. He's not getting anything off of Boncaro or Wagner's action. Anthony Black's playing had a really silly goaltend he got away with. The amount of missed free throws in this game. Shaedon Sharpe has a free throw with 20 seconds left. He misses it. Boncaro has the ball 110-109 with 11 seconds left and has 2 free throws, and he misses them both. Blazers are on that 13-0 run. Boncaro makes a shot, then he goes to the free throw line. He misses again with 4.5 seconds left. Misses 3 free throws late. Boncaro had a nice straight line drive one-on-one for the key basket of the game where he powered up and then missed the free throw, left it to be a 2-point game, and then Drew Holiday turned it over late. Portland's doing a lot of interesting things. Tiago Splitter's doing a really good job with them. They're running good stuff. They seem organized. They have different personalities. Orlando, I just am not a Boncaro fan, and then just nobody builds off anybody in any possession. That does not feel good. Atlanta Clippers last night. The Clippers just feel casual. They're also playing. They're not good. They didn't have Kawhi Leonard last night. They didn't have Bradley Beal, so they're literally closing with Derek Jones and Chris Dunn. I love Chris Dunn, but you should never be closing a game with Chris Dunn. James Harden at one point scored 11 straight on Dyson Daniels. He still has it, but he was everything. Atlanta's running their go-to play is Jalen Johnson at the free throw line on an ISO versus Harden. Quinn Snyder is using Vic Krejci as Kyle Korver, and he had 8 threes in that game. And John Collins did have an awesome block that was kind of fun to watch. Chris Dunn, you can't play him late. He fouls too much, and he can't shoot. Bucks Mavericks. Cooper Flag finishes over Giannis with a minute left in the game. It was crazy. Left-hand power drive by Cooper Flag with a right-hand flip shot. Pretty impressive. Flag super unselfish. Moves the ball in multiple plays. Giannis is just overpowering everyone. Milwaukee's playing point Giannis the whole time. Gafford's trying to guard Giannis. I don't know how you guard Giannis. Did Nico Harrison just get fired? I wonder if he did. Well, let me see. Yeah. Nico Harrison just got fired. As we're talking about the Mavericks. Down 3, Dallas 1 minute left. They run Cooper Flag on an ISO on Kuzma, and he blows by him and scores. So they're giving it to Flag to go to work. And then one-on-one on open court, Flag rises up through Giannis and scores over him. Cooper Flag, biggest play of the game, does get lost defensively. He runs to go somewhere, and he's just running with his head cut off, going nowhere, because that's what happens to young players. Bulls Spurs. Final one. Spurs closing with Fox, Castle, Barnes, Wemby, and Cornette. So they're playing Wemby and Cornette as their closing lineup. Chicago's shorthanded. They don't have any Kobe White right now, so they're finishing with Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, Iota Sumo, Patrick Williams, and no Josh Giddey because he broke his ankle didn't break it when he got broke the other night. And Vucevic. Fox, Wemby, pick and roll with Cornette in the dunker. Super interesting by Mitch Johnson. So they have Cornette in the dunker on the ball side and Fox and Wemby playing pick and roll. It's a lot of people around there, but it's a lot of height, and it's hard to figure out where guys are supposed to go. I was super impressed by Kevin Huerter. I've always liked him. I don't know what went wrong in Sacramento. He looked good. Let's see. They kept getting behind Vucevic, Cornette getting dunks as the extra guy, and then with the game on the line, with 1 minute left, Wemby dribbles up in transition, pulls for 3, and hits it. And on the next possession, Wemby blocks Jones defensively, then has the ball, bring it up, calls Vucevic up, goes one-on-one like he's a freaking point guard, pulls for 3 and hits. And he's 7-4. Good night, Irene. That is the future of the NBA. That is Locked On Jazz. That was an awesome late game watch. This league's awesome. Jazz Pacers tonight. See you at the arena. Go for it. Stop by, get a sticker. Hope everything's great. Yeah. Now I send you the first ever 24/7 national NBA channel, Locked On NBA, or check out Game Night. Game Night tonight should be crazy. Go to Locked On NBA and listen to Game Night about last night.